Hello students! Today we will be dealing with rational exponents and radicals. By the way, I am Rose Chinalfaro, your lecturer for today. To start our discussion, let us have this definition. Let a and b be real numbers and let n be a positive integer that is greater than 1. Now, before we proceed with our definition, let us first recall na ang mukha ng real numbers ay ito siya, which is the union of the rational and the irrational numbers. Now, for our integer, we can only have this for our n since yung requirement niya that n must be greater than or equal to 2 na positive integer. We say b is an nth root of a if a is equal to b raised to n. That is, if our n is 2, we call b the square root of a. If our n naman is 3, we call b the cube root of a. Now, to help us understand the definition, let us have these examples. First, we have negative 2 is the cube root of negative 8 since negative 2 raised to 3 is equal to negative 8. Now, if we will check, our a here is negative 8 and our b is negative 2. Our n is positive 3. Second, 4 is the square root of 16 since 4 squared is equal to 16. At the same time, negative 4 is also a square root of 16 since negative 4 raised to 2 is equal to 16. Another example, we have both 5 and negative 5 are square roots of 25 since 5 squared is 25 and negative 5 raised to 2 is equal to 25. Now let us have this remark. When n is even and a is negative, the equation a equals to b raised to n has no real solution b. That is, a raised to 1 over n is not a real number. In other words, class, for us to know if a number a with a rational exponent is not a real number, we need to check two things. First, if our n is even. Second, if our a is negative. Now, if may isa dyan, class, na hindi masatisfy, kahit isa lang dito, automatic, yung expression na a raised to 1 over n is a real number. For example, the expression 9 raised to 1/2 represents a positive real square root of 9 since, though even yung n natin dito, positive yung a natin. Now, to solve that, we have 9 raised to 1/2, which is equal to 3 squared quantity 1/2, and that is equal to 3. Next, we have 27 raised to 1/3, at saka negative 27 raised to 1/3. Okay, so if we will check, yung n natin dito is not even, at saka ito is a positive number. Kaya, ito siya, na expression is a real number. Next, we have negative 27 raised to 1/3. Our n here is not even. Tapos, though negative ito, since hindi niya na-satisfy yung n na even, real number pa rin ito na expression. Now, for the solution, we have 27 raised to 1/3 is equal to 3 cubed quantity 1/3, and that is equal to 3. Next, we have 1 over 16 raised to 1/4. Now, check class that though even yung n natin dito, our a here is positive. Kaya, real number pa rin yan. So, for the solution, we have 1 over 16 raised to 1/4. And that can be factored, magiging 1/2 raised to 4, quantity 1/4, which is equal to 1/2. Next, we have negative 25 raised to 1/2 is not a real number. Bakit? If i-check natin, n natin is even. Second, a natin is negative. In other words, nakumpleto niya yung requirement for an expression for it not to be a real number. And if we will check, class, for us to get 25, ito lang yung pwedeng ibigay natin. We have negative 5 squared at saka 5 squared. But both of the numbers will give us positive 25. Kaya niya sinabi na no real solution. Okay? Now, let's have this remark. When a variable expressions involves even roots, we must be careful with signs. For example, y squared raised to 1/2 is equal to y is not correct for all values of y, since negative 3 squared quantity 1/2 is equal to 3. However, using absolute values, we can write y squared quantity 1/2 is equal to the absolute value of y. Again, mangyayari lang ito, class, if variable expression involves in even roots. In our previous examples, class, if you have noticed, some of our numbers have more than one nth root, diba? Now, to distinguish between these roots, we have the following definition. The symbol nth root of a will denote the principal root of a, such that nth root of a is the positive nth root of a if a is positive. Second, nth root of a is the negative nth root of a if a is negative and n is odd. Third, the nth root of 0 is 0. The expression nth root of a is called a radical or a radical expression. A is called the radicand. This symbol, we call this the radical sign. N is the index or the order of the radical. When n is equal to 2, we simply write this and we call it the square root of a. When n is equal to 3, we have this, we write it this way and call it the cube root of a. Take note, class, that if nth root of a is an element of a real number, then nth root of a quantity n is equal to a. For example, square root of 3 is a real number. Therefore, we can have 3 as the root of this example. Let us now proceed to our next definition. The square root of negative b is equal to square root of bi, where we define I squared that is equal to negative 1 and our p here is greater than 0. Now, let's have these examples. We have the square root of negative 4 is equal to square root of 4i, kasi yun yung sabi sa definition. And thus, the square root of 4 is 2, so we'll have 2i. Next, we have the square root of negative 4 times the square root of negative 9. So first, we have this, yung kanina, same manner sa pag-solve. And for negative 9, this will be square root of 9i, tapos square root of 9 is 3, we'll have 2i times 3i equals 6i squared. But then, according to our definition, I squared is equal to negative 1. So we will have 6 times negative 1 that is equal to negative 6. Next, we have 2 square root of negative 16 over cube root of negative 27. Notice dito, class, na ang affected lang sa definition natin is this, the square root of negative 16. As for the denominator, real number yan siya. Now, we have 2 here. Square root of negative 16 is 4i. Over cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. In other words, to finalize our answer, we'll have negative 8i over 3. Okay, let us now discover kung kailan natin malalaman na simplified na yung radical natin. First, This is the first indication. The radicand is non-negative. Second, the radicand contains no factor whose exponent is either greater than or equal to the index. Third, the index of the radicand cannot be reduced. Fourth, the radicand contains no fraction. In the previous slides, we were taught how to recognize if a radical is in its simplest form. Pero ang question ngayon, paano tayo mag-simplify? Diba? So, these laws of radical will answer that question. We let a and b be any real numbers for which the given root exists. For any positive integers m and n that is not equal to 1, we have, first, if n is even, the nth root of a to the n is equal to the absolute value of a. Next, if n is odd, the nth root of a raised to n is equal to a. So, ano yung kaibahan nitong dalawa? We have ang even lang at saka odd na mga indices nila. If even, titingnan nyo talaga yan nandyan. If even, ilagay nyo sa absolute value ang sagot nyo. But if odd, whatever is your base in your radicand, yun na yung sagot ninyo. Next, the nth root of AB is equal to the nth root of A times the nth root of B. So, number 3 means that if masulat mo or naka-multiplication form ang laman ng radical mo, you can separate them into different radicals. In the same manner, kahit na naka-separate yan, as long as same ang index, n and n, tapos naka-multiplication form, pwede mong isulat into one radical. Fourth, the nth root of a over b is equal to the nth root of a over the nth root of b. Same manner, dito kay number 3, yung naka-fraction na radical, pwede nating isulat into separate radicals. At the same time, yung naka-separate ang radicals, given na same naman yung mga index nila, pwede nating masulat in one radical. 5. mnth root of a is equal to mth root of nth root of a. So, we have here, kung masulat mo yung index natin in multiplication form, pwede mo rin yang masulat in this form. Next, nkth root of a to the mk is equal to the nth root of a raised to m. So, ang nangyari dito sa number 6, if we will write this in exponential form, ito yung magiging mukha niya, where this is our index. Now, k divided by k is 1, so that is why we will be left with a to the m quantity 1 over n. And if isulat natin yan into radical, yan yung magiging mukha niya. Let us consider these following examples. First, we have the square root of 50. Now, before we proceed with the answer, tingnan muna natin ang mga condition kanina para malaman natin na simplified na yung radical. First, the radicand is non-negative. Now, number 1, na-satisfy na siya, di ba? Kasi non-negative yung 50. Another, the radicand contains no factor whose exponent is greater than or equal to the index. Now, si 50, sure kaya tayo na wala na siyang factor na mas malaki or equal sa index natin? The answer is no. Hindi tayo sure dyan kasi factorable pa si 50. Number 3, the index of the radicand cannot be reduced. Now, what is the index of a square root of 50? Diba 2? Okay. Now, 2 is a prime number, therefore, hindi na siya ma-reduce. Okay, so number 3 is satisfied. Number 4, the radicand contains no fraction. So, square root of 50, as you can see, is not a fraction. Okay. In other words, we are left with number 2 dyan to check if the radicand contains no factor whose exponent is either greater than or equal to the index. The safest way to find that out is to use the prime factorization. Now, the prime factors of 50 are 5 times 5 times 2, which can be written as 5 squared times 2. So, we can see here, yung 5 natin, meron siyang 2 na exponent, which is equal to our index here. In other words, this can still be simplified. Okay. We can also use class the other way is by finding the factors of 50. We can have 10 times 5 or 25 times 2. But in our example, we chose 25 times 2 dahil yung 10 times 5, 10 and 5 are not perfect squares. So even if gamitin natin yan sila, walang mangyayari sa radical natin. So we'll have 25 times 2. Then, we have, by our definition kanina, pag meron kang multiplication form, pwedeng i-separate. So, we'll have square root of 5 squared times 2 and the square root of 5 squared, diba? Ma-divide natin 2 dito sa index natin. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, we'll have 5 square root of 2. Next, we have cube root of negative 24. So, cube root of negative 24, I will not do the prime factorization. I'll just get the factors since negative 8 times 3 is equal to 24 and negative 8 is a perfect cube. Now, I'll separate that. I'll have cube root of negative 8 times cube root of 3. This is equal to 2 cube root of 3. Number 3, cube root of 16 over 54. Now, since fraction yan class, the first that you have to do is to simplify the fraction. So, i-factor nyo muna at baka meron pa kayong ma-divide. Ma-lowest term nyo pa siya. So, in here, we have 16, 2 times 8. Tapos, si 54, 2 times 27. And, we can have, pwede natin yung i-separate. We'll have cube root of 8 over cube root of 27, which is equal to 2/3. Next, we have the 6th root of 9x squared y to the 4th. Now, first that we will do is to do the prime factorization. But after nag-prime factorization tayo class, hindi pa rin enough yung mga exponents nila para mag-equal or sumobra kay index. So, ang gagawin natin, let us check if ma-reduce pa ba natin yung index. So, we'll have the cube root of the square root of 3x to the 2x squared y to the 4th. Tapos, ito siya, lalabas si 3 squared. So, magiging 3. Yung x squared magiging x. Ang y to the 4th magiging y squared. Now, let us have another set of examples para mas maintindihan natin yung theorem kanina. For the first question, we have the square root of negative 2 raised to 2. So, paano ba natin sagutan yan? According to the first part of our theorem, if our n is even, which is the case here kasi square root yan, nth root of a raised to n is equal to the absolute value of a. So, we have here negative 2 yung a natin, so we have the absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. For letter B, we have square root of x squared is equal to the absolute value of x. Number 2, we have the cube root of negative 3 raised to 3. Second part ng theorem natin, if our n is odd, ito siya is odd, nth root of a raised to n is just equal to a, kaya negative 3 yung sagot natin dyan. We have cube root of x cubed is equal to x. Number 3, we have the cube root of 3 times cube root of 4. So, how do we deal with the radicals na naka-product form? First, i-check ninyo kung same yung indices nila. Now, since same, we can apply the third part of the theorem na pwede mong i-multiply yung radicands nila. We just copy the index, Tapos, i-multiply yung radicand. So, 3 times 4 is 12. So, the final answer is cube root of 12. Next, we have the cube root of xy times cube root of 2x squared. Again, sabi sa theorem, kung meron kang naka-product form, i-multiply lang yung radicand. So, we'll have xy times 2x squared, we have 2x cubed y. Number 4, we have the square root of 3/4. Now, sabi kay number 4 sa theorem natin, ito siya. Whenever meron kang fraction, pwede mong isulat yan into different radicals. Given na dapat same pa rin yung indices nila. So, yung square root of 3/4 natin magiging square root of 3 over square root of 4. And to finalize our answer, we will have square root of 3 is square root of 3, tapos square root of 4 is 2. Next, we have the square root of 24 over 3. Before you separate radicals, tingnan nyo muna, baka masimplify pa yung radicand ninyo. Now, in case of letter B, masimplify pa, diba? 24 divided by 3 is 8, and the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. Number 5, we have the cube root of the fourth root of xy. According to the fifth part ng theorem natin, whenever we have this kind of radical, pwede mong kunin yung product ng indices nila. So, we'll have 3 times 4 is 12. Tapos, we just copy the radicand. Kaya, meron tayong xy dito. We have the 15th root of 8. So, we know, class, na si 8 is a perfect cube. And si 15 naman is factorable. Ang factors niya are 5 times 5 and 3. So, we will have this 5th root of the cube root of 8, which is equal to the 5th root of 2. Number 6. We have the 6th root of 4. So, first na gagawin, tingnan muna natin if factorable pa itong index natin. And indeed, factorable siya. Ito naman yung radicand natin, gawin natin in exponential form. Naka-prime factor siya. So, we'll have 2 raised to 2. At saka yung 6 natin, we have 2 times 3. So, we'll have this ma-divide dito kay 2 sa kabila dyan sa index natin. So, we'll have the cube root of 2 as our final answer. Letter B, we have the fourth root of x to the 6. Same manner, factor natin yung index kung factorable. Tapos, ito siya, factorable din. We have 2 times 3. For this, we have 2 times 2. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, we will be left with square root of x cubed. But then, square root of x cubed is just equal to x square root of x. That is all for this session. And before I end this presentation, I want to give you a tip. Please do memorize the table of squares, cubes, perfect fourths, and perfect fifths. Pwede pa kayo mag-extend sa 6th, 7th, or hanggang saan yung kaya ninyo. And, gagawin nyo next, you have to practice para ma-master ninyo yung topic. Thank you and God bless.